Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Static Rift. Today we're going to have a bunch of comic news for you, some more E3 stuff for you. As always, you can call into the studio at 857-366-5444. You can text in at 857-445-0424. And today, we have a special guest host, because Sam is not with us.
Hey, how's it going? My name's Zach.
Zach is awesome. You will enjoy him. And today's show is brought to you by Nero. If you're thirsty and need a refreshment, drink Nero.
Yeah, it's good.
It is good.
Word. So as we usually begin, I think we should kind of get things rolling with what have you consumed for this week.
Yes.
And being the selfish, greedy jerk that I am, I'm going to start first, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Wonderful.
This week, I did an overrun of an older game that I'm just now becoming familiar with called Talisman. It was originally released by Games Workshop before they completely devoted themselves to the Warhammer line of miniatures, war games. And it was, bought out, as all of their other products were, by Fantasy Flight, an amazing company, one of my favorite producers of board and tabletop games, RPGs included. Talisman is a pretty standard fantasy board game as far as things go, aside from the fact that the board is huge and gorgeous and awesome. And just the baseline starting package comes with, I think, 14 different playable characters, I guess, or classes.
That's pretty sweet.
If you would. Yeah, which is a large amount of diversity for a board game, I think. I don't know. I can't, off the top of my head, think of very many that come close.
Yeah, me either.
Especially while maintaining some, semblance of those things actually being different. Having an actual noticeable difference in the statistics between each one. Every player, starts a game, picks one of the classes. There's all sorts of fun stuff, and all of them have their own weird little abilities and generic stats. You have your life, self-explanatory. Your power, which is your ability to fight physically. Your craft, which is your ability to use magic.
Ooh.
And a certain amount of allocated fate points, which are essentially free rerolls.
Oh, so basically like luck.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Absolutely. And each of these differ. It usually adds up to 7 between life and craft. There are some that break the rule, like there's a very large troll that has like 6 health. But, there's always a payoff or a disadvantage for it. The object of the game, the board is set in 3 different rings with the Crown of Command set at the center, which is the goal of the game. To pass through each consecutive ring inwards, you have to beat some sort of test or get your character to the point where they can, is generally more the point. You do this by moving to the different squares on the board. Each one flips over a card. The card draws from just, a regulated offset pile. Each card can either be a creature, a stranger, an event, or an item. And each of these will affect you in different ways. Items you pick up, strangers stay on the board, and they each have their own weird little things. Like some of them can be beggars. Death is a stranger you can meet. Death actually also moves around the board, much like the robber in Catan.
Okay.
Anytime a player rolls a 1 on their movement, they must roll the dice again to see where death moves. If death lands on the same square as you, you lose a life.
Ooh.
Which can get really bad.
Yeah,
well,
sounds like it.
You have to play a dice game with him also, which is awesome, I think. Anytime death makes you play games with him, I think that's great.
So you're gambling with death, basically.
Yeah, very thematic. But yeah, it's a gorgeous game. Some of the touches I liked was this game was originally made in 1983.
Oh, wow.
So they've updated a lot of the art, but they kept a few things kind of old school looking for the feel. Like, I don't believe the actual board changed at all. And the way you keep track of your power, craft, and health, because you can get items that make them larger, are these little, kind of chintzy looking plastic cones. Because it was obviously from some sort of just manufacturing thing back in 83. Maybe this was the best they could do for the price point they were going for back then. And Fantasy Flight could have easily updated this to something a lot more flashy, a lot more modern, but they kept it because it was just one of the very, like, iconic things. It was one of the things that most people who played the game back then remembered about it. So I think that was a really nice touch. And just seeing some of that kind of old, like, high fantasy 1983 art is cool in a very nostalgic sort of way. If you ever, like, read any of, like, the old Dragonlance novels or anything, like, it looks a lot like those old covers.
Oh, sweet.
Which I think is great. And, yeah, that's the big thing for my week. What have you been up to?
For me, it's been mostly video games. Just a lot of video games. I've played the indie game Transistor, which is by the people who made Bastion.
Nice.
So, a very beautiful game. The music, like Bastion, is amazing.
Absolutely.
It's same people who did the ones for Bastion. They write their own songs, and the main character is a singer, so it's a big theme throughout the game, just songs and her voice. And a beautiful game, steampunky kind of thing.
Excellent.
And the really interesting about that game was the fighting mechanics, because it wasn't a hack and slash like Bastion. You'd get into a fight, and then you have the ability to pause the game and plan out your moves and use certain skills that you have. You can have 3 at a time.
Okay.
And as you level up, you get more and more. And basically, it was really interesting. At times, it got a little routine, because you'd have to just run away until you can freeze time again and do things. But beautiful game. Music, visuals, it was amazing.
Yeah, they do good work. I remember Bastion, I saw the trailer for Transistor when we went to PAX. It looked gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Aside from that, I've been playing Hearthstone some more, which is
nice.
which is addicting.
Oh, yeah, it is.
But I think it's a really great game. It definitely shows that free-to-play doesn't always have to mean pay to win.
Oh, absolutely.
It's got a great system in place with that. Yeah, and I also managed to get my hands on the Destiny Alpha.
Ooh, how was that?
It was good. Playing it was like playing Halo for the first time. Just that kind of just fun, unadulterated fun.
Nice.
I ran into some people online. Not really a big thing. I didn't talk to them or anything. They're just kind of always around, just helping me out, leaving me alone. But it was really fun. I kind of wish the RPG elements were a lot more substantial. They seem a little light at first, but I wasn't able to get deep into it. But hopefully it'll be more. But it's definitely something I'm planning on getting when it comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a
Sounds
huge
sweet.
push for that one. John, what have you been doing?
I did a lot this week. So I'll start with, I went to the movies. I saw 22 Jump Street.
How was that?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was a fan of the first one. I wouldn't say I loved the first one. It was really good. I laughed a lot. But this one was just amazing. Like, it's not too many times where you get a sequel to be better than the first one, but this destroys the first one.
Really?
Yeah. And, like, I just love the characters. The characters are great. They all work so well off each other. Like, Ice Cube's hilarious in it. Obviously, Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum, perfect for each other.
Yeah, they had a good chemistry in the first one.
Yeah, even better this time. It's,
Nice.
like, insane, like, how well they work off each other. And, like, I wasn't a big, huge Channing Tatum guy. When I first saw the first one, it was maybe my first real Channing Tatum movie, because I stayed away from him. And I was like, he's okay. Like, he was funny. Like, all right, he's okay. But now, like, I love him.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm a Channing Tatum guy.
You got that man crush going on?
He's got me, swept me off my feet. So if he's Gambit, I'm for it.
Oh.
Let him be it.
Wow, yeah.
I think
That's
he can
some
pull
high
it
praise.
off. So yeah, I highly recommend, if you're a fan of comedies, people, see 22 Jump Street. Hilarious. I don't think I stopped to breathe. I was laughing so hard. Like, my stomach was killing me by the end of the film because it was so funny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then this week I read Captain America 21. So last week on the show I was talking about how Marvel wants to, or they're going to, take the super soldier serum out of Captain eventually.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
So I was reading this. It was the final arc of the Iron Nail saga. Like, he's fighting this Asian character called the Iron Nail. He was a former Shield member, and he went rogue on a covert mission. He went to China covertly, and then ended up adopting their ideals and stuff. So he turned on Shield.
Gotcha.
And he ended up being lost in this mountain with like a god that gave him this power, like pierced him in the chest and gave him this ability, and he becomes the Iron Nail. And basically, he can put on this like dragon-esque armor. You don't really know much about him. You just know he doesn't like Shield, doesn't like America, doesn't like Captain. So they've been fighting for the last couple issues. So they're bringing it to a close. Like I said, you don't know his power. You just know he's relatively strong. He's got like this dragon-like armor on. He's
Is
got
his power communism?
No, I mean I don't know. He just hates America. He's got these like tentacle type things. So
Communism tentacles.
He's fighting Captain and everything.
To crush the proletariat.
And also Shield had this like secret covert, like almost like a Gundam type thing. like a one of their like helicarriers that could transform to like this like Gundam like machine with a giant sword, and he's just destroying like some like town in Russia, destroying it, like absolutely destroying it. And
was the giant robot at the end of Fallout 3? They could like add the like laser beams. It just like shout like crush the communists and all that noise. That's literally all I can think of
without
right
the
now.
voice,
Yeah.
without the crushing the communism thing. But so he's using it against America, making Shield and America look bad. So towards the end of the issue, he throws his tentacles in Captain, and Captain has like one last chance to throw his shield in like the reactor to like take the thing down.
Liberty Prime. I'm sorry.
There you go. And obviously he does. So, the issue was good. It's been a pretty good arc so far. And then so he stabs him in. It cuts to the Gundam thing blowing up. All of a sudden Captain's old. They just threw it in. They threw it in. It happened. Right.
What just
I didn't expect
abrupt?
it. Threw it right in.
Oh, wow.
I guess the Iron Nail has an ability to neutralize or something, or suck the super soldier serum out of him. I don't know. They didn't really explain it.
Super soldier serum.
You just see Captain old and feeble on the ground.
Huh.
Iron Nail's about to finish him off. Falcon comes in for the save, and he's old now. I didn't expect it. I figured it would be a couple issues down the line, later on. And my guess is a lot of fans are kind of mad about the whole Wolverine thing. They're like, you shouldn't have really told us. We kind of want to be like, maybe like gave us hints, but not really flat out Wolverine's dead at this date. He's done. So I think this was their way of throwing the fans off. Like they threw it out there like Captain's going to be old soon. Be ready for it. And then bam, it just happened. So I was just like in shock. Like I didn't know. I mean, they could have did it a little better, I guess. Maybe they'll explain it in the next issue better.
I would hope so.
It kind of looks like they threw it together just to shock value. So, that was... I still don't know how I feel about it. I love Captain. Now he's old.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer.
Two of my beloved characters are going down.
Two of just generally beloved characters.
Yeah, which is big. Huge.
See, like... Yeah, it's a big move by Marvel, but I feel like... And this is, from a fairly outside perspective.
Right.
I don't, follow regularly. It's kind of a passing interest for me. But I feel like they're bold moves just to kind of be bold moves.
I could see that.
Like just stirring the pot, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not...
Well, Wolverine's definitely stirring the pot.
Oh, yeah.
I feel it's kind of like a big FU to Fox. Because now they're going to make Storm the prominent X-Men. And Storm's cool, but come on.
Yeah.
She's not going to sell you movie tickets.
True.
Because she hasn't really been done that well in the movies anyways.
I think if she were done... I've always thought Storm could be a really strong character.
Oh, I agree, yeah. Storm's awesome.
I always felt like she was a great team character. In an ensemble, she works really well.
Absolutely. She has, the really kind of matronly aspect to her, so she can be, I guess, somewhat of a leader. Yeah. But yeah, we are going to go to break, as I'm sure most of you know, but I'm going to tell you again anyway. The studio number, you can call us, 857-366-544. You can also text us, 857-445-0424. Hit us up on the facebook.com/Static Rift Radio. Twitter, @Static Rift. Follow, comment, shoot direct messages at us. We don't care. We will answer them.
We'll answer
be
everyone.
back in a little while.
Like us.
We are back. As I just said, I'm going to say it again. I don't mind repeating myself. I'm going to say this until you hear it in your sleep. If you want to call in, the number is 857-366-5444. The text line, 857-445-0424. That's OGAG if you still do that T9 nonsense. We are coming back at you with a little bit of comic book news. I'm going to hand it over to my good friend, my very knowledgeable friend, John Mastrangelo.
Well, actually, we're going to talk about a con.
Oh, yeah, I'm dumb.
We
Never
tricked
mind.
you.
Disregard everything I
Comic
just
book news
said.
will be next segment. That was a beautiful segue, though. But we do have a little bit of con info. We want to get it out early to you, because usually we get our con experiences at the end, and we never really give you that experience. So you're like, hey, I want to go next year. So now we're going to give it to you. We're going to give you our thoughts, our experiences, our aspirations. Did
All
we
that
love
good
it?
stuff.
Did we hate it? You'll find out right now.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
So we went to Walker Stalker Con this weekend.
Waka Flocka Sock and Nichols Con.
Yep, or what Dan calls it, Walker, or whatever, Nichols flying at you con. It was primarily for The Walking Dead, so if you weren't a fan of The Walking Dead, you might not have enjoyed it. They had like the Boondock Saints anniversary there. Mm-hmm. They had another anniversary for like Friday the 13th, like the cast getting together for that too.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
They had the two of the original cast members of Night of the Living Dead, the original.
Yeah.
So basically, it was kind of like a Walking Dead / like pop culture horror con.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool.
We had some other last minute additions there. The comic book man.
Oh yeah, they did have the comic book men.
Brian and Ming.
Yep, I actually met them both. Brian was Brian. If you watch Comic Book Men, he's very Brian-esque. I walked up to him. I was like, hey, Brian, awesome to meet you. He was like, is it really? Is it? So, very dry, Brian-ish. Great.
Yeah.
And Ming, I went Friday and I went Sunday. And Friday, there was the normal con. Then there was a meet and greet if you got a hotel room. So my friend Ted got a hotel room. So I got to go to the meet and greet, which was cool. And then there was an after party. So I met Ming earlier on, shook hands with him, talked to him for a few minutes. And then throughout the night, I kept seeing him, and he'd kept being like, hey, what's up? Like, giving me hugs, daps, like, what's up, man? Like, Ming was so awesome to talk to. Awesome dude.
Very nice.
The meet and greet was pretty sweet. It was supposed to be kind of like, little quiet, like, gala, so to speak. It was in, like, a glass room. There was chairs and tables, open, like a little bar, cash bar. But you weren't supposed to ask any of the actors or celebrities or anybody there for photos. Because
Really?
that's they're
kind
there
of
to
keep
get...
it casual, Like,
So
yeah.
I met a couple of actors. First being Rocco from Boondock Saints.
The funny man.
The funny man. And I'm a huge Boondock Saints fan. So meeting Rocco was amazing. But
Was it, John?
he walked in.
Was it really?
Yeah. Yes. He walks in throughout the whole day. Every time I saw him, he was at a bar. So, good for him. He's letting loose. Getting paid to let loose, at least. So he walks in, heads right to the bar, grabs a drink, and then he just walks up to any person and starts taking selfies with everybody. Wasn't supposed to. So then everyone's following his lead now. So now every actor is having to take photos with people just because of Rocco. So yeah, he was great. Talked to him for a few minutes. Got a photo with him. Met Josh McDermott, who's on The Walking Dead. He plays Eugene. He was a really cool dude. He walked up to us. I went to go shake his hand. He was like, no, you bring it in. And he gave me a hug. I met Tyrese from The Walking Dead. I met Bob from The Walking Dead. I just met a bunch of Walking Dead people. I had the opportunity to meet the dude from Night of the Living Dead. Didn't. He was kind of like right in the middle of everything. Mm-hmm. Just for an older dude, really really loose, like talking to everybody. So I mean, the meet and greet was sweet, and then the after party was pretty intense.
Yeah?
Yeah, they had straight, like, like, disco lights, like, crazy, like, neon lights going. They had a DJ Nemesis. He's pretty big around the area.
Yeah,
He's from
I've heard of
Boston.
him. Yeah.
He was, on the ones and twos, busting out everything. They had some sweet ice sculptures, and then frozen zombie heads in the middle. And they had like chips, pretzels, like little things if you want.
Food.
Yeah, a little snack food.
Yeah, make sure you put a little something in you aside from booze.
They had a special mystery drink that was only for the after party, like you couldn't get it for the rest of the weekend, and it was called the Pink Zombie, which the only thing in it was Fresca. Now, normally I wouldn't drink Fresca.
Yeah.
No, screw that.
Yeah.
But this drink was greatness
so
in a glass.
It like booze and Fresca?
It was like a
saying?
pink mixed drink mixed with Fresca.
Huh.
But it was like greatness in a glass.
Yeah?
Oh.
Was it like some citrusiness there? Like what are we talking?
Well, a little bit from the Fresca.
I like that you gave this whole big old thing about the con, and all I'm really caring about right now is that drink.
Yeah, right?
Tell me about it.
I want to say there was some vodka in it. I couldn't really tell. It was a mystery. They wouldn't tell me what was in it. But you couldn't really taste the Fresca, but you knew it was carbonated.
Gotcha.
Because of the Fresca.
Gotcha.
But it was good. It was really good. It was awesome. Kind of maybe like a pinkish lemonade feel, too.
Yeah. Okay.
But really good. Really good drink.
Nice.
And the after party was great. Like, a lot of the actors came and were just partying with everybody.
That's always fun.
Like, dancing. Like, one of, like, the guys who's on The Walking Dead for, like, 3 episodes got killed real quick. Left with 2 chicks on his arms.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And what was really cool was a little way in, like, couple hours into it, one dude walks in in, like, a Michael Myers-esque suit, but like a Jason mask, looking just like maybe someone from, like, Mad Max, like a post-apocalyptic, just, like, hardcore dude with a machete.
Yeah.
He was followed by another dude with, like, a gas mask, and he was holding, like, a zombie woman, like, cosplayer, with, like, a pole and a collar. And to the beat, the other guy with the Jason mask was luring her away with a severed head, and she was, like, dancing, trying to grab him, and it was just awesome, like, how they choreographed it. It was so sweet.
Word. I'm actually a little upset with myself now that I didn't show up on Friday.
Yeah, Friday was definitely the best day to go. It wasn't packed because people were at work.
Yeah.
So it was like you could easily walk up to anybody, do anything, talk to anybody. And since it was the first day, a lot of the actors are just walking around,
and
chilling.
Con fatigue hadn't quite set in yet.
Right.
I noticed that like a lot. Like I only went Sunday, which was a mistake.
Right.
On my part, because any like 3-day con, if you're gonna pick one day to not go, pick Sunday.
Yeah, pick Sunday.
It should be really, really obvious, but I still haven't quite like beat the message into my own head just yet. It seems like we did TerrorCon, Sam and I, and like some things fell through. There were some family emergencies going on. Whatever. I'm not going to get into it. So yeah, we wound up having to show up on Sunday, and it was a kind of mediocre experience. Not kind of it was a mediocre experience. Most of the celebrities had already left. Like a lot of the really cool booth stuff had kind of sold out. You could just see like the exhaustion on everyone's face. I got kind of the same vibe from Walker Stalker, a little bit. Especially we came in like 2:00 to see if we could like get any last minute interviews or something like that, and all the celebrity tables were just dead empty. It's like, okay, I can't blame them. I cannot blame them. Had I been doing what they were doing for those 3 days, I would have jetted as early as I could on Sunday as well. Especially considering probably fairly well hungover from the after party Friday. So that would make Saturday that much worse, which would have made Sunday that much worse.
Yeah, I heard Saturday was pretty like heavy traffic. Like everyone was there because Friday didn't have all the actors.
Okay.
So some of the bigger named actors that are still alive in the show came Saturday.
Gotcha.
So it was like a madhouse Saturday, like according to one of my friends who were there.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And plus, everyone's off work. It's a nice bright Saturday. That's cool. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I'm just like starting to get jaded, which doesn't really make a lot of sense because I think PAX ruined cons for me. It's just like lingering thing in the back of my head that I've been struggling to put to words. It just fell into place for me right now. I think PAX ruined all of these, admittedly like possibly fun, kind of rinky-dinky little small local cons. And I say that with the best intentions. Anything's going to look kind of, tiny compared to PAX.
That's true.
Like, I feel like there should be an echo in the room when I say PAX. Like,
PAX.
'cause I cannot. I'm having a harder and harder time getting into these things.
I mean, unless like you're going to Boston Comic Con, which is pretty
Yeah,
big, or the
yeah.
New York Comic Con, or like San Diego Comic Con, you're not going to be PAX because PAX is like the biggest thing on the East Coast for video games.
Oh yeah.
So it's huge.
I think like another bit for me is I don't know. I don't really care a whole ton about celebrities.
Right.
Just like dead honest. Like like if they're cool people, I have like respect for them. If they do shows that I enjoy, I guess really I'm more about the product than I am about the pieces of the product. I love a show. I love characters. Not too huge on actors.
I get
Maybe
you.
it's just like meeting and like realizing these people are people kind of ruins the illusion for me. Possibly. Then again, I could just be, pulling this out of my hat.
Yeah, whenever you're watching a show, you always want to, in the back of your head, it's not true, but you want to think,
Yeah.
that's what they're
Yeah.
like. That's what they're really like.
Like when I'm watching True Detective, I want to have a beer with Russ. I don't want to have a beer with Matthew McConaughey. I would totally have a beer with Matthew McConaughey. That's wrong.
I think a lot of
But
people
that was a bad example. But no, yeah. So that kind of ruins the appeal of a lot of these cons for me. The other thing is like if I'm gonna buy like any of that like weird merchandise stuff, I'm probably gonna search for it on eBay and buy the cheapest one I can find. I'm not gonna go to the con and buy it at like a 25% markup.
Well, not everything's
yeah.
25%.
Yeah, there are like a lot of finds. Like we saw that a really awesome Joker poster.
Oh, that Joker poster was legit.
It's from Dark Detectives. I think like one of the early like 80s runs. It was Joker's face huge. It said "Vote for me or I'll kill you."
And he was just like
It was
pointing
just, like,
straight
the
at you.
Uncle Sam style thing. It was great.
Effective.
And I mean,
Yeah.
I picked up Batgirl Zero, which I've been trying to find for a while, and on eBay it's like $10 to $15, and it was
Okay.
a $2.99 comic that just came out a year or two ago, and I
Yeah.
got it for $2.
Oh, nice.
So that
There
was
you
pretty
go.
sweet.
Yeah,
So
that's-
there's some sweet finds sometimes. But what was really cool for me was, as Dan said, Sunday kind of lacked.
yeah. Well,
We went
as it
kind of
will.
late.
We did. Mostly.
But I went to Sean Patrick Flannery's panel, and it was sweet. He is just larger than life. Like, awesome. Like, he answered everyone's questions. So many people lined up, answered them all. Wasn't like a douche about anything. Sweet, really nice dude. One of the girls was like, "Hey, do you still remember the prayer from Boondock Saints?" And he's like, "Of course, yeah." He's like, "How about this? I'll recite it for you. You pick the accent. Like, I'll do any accent you want, and I'll nail it." And everyone was like shouting out accents. They were like, but like the overwhelming one was Irish, and he's like, "Come on, challenge me here." So I guess they picked like a flamboyant, like, how can I say this? Non-heterosexual person. And, he was like, "I pray to the Lord to be," like, it was awesome how he did it. Like, had the mannerisms, like tossing the hand down, tapping his boot, like, just nailed it. Just
So is Will from Will and Grace.
Yeah.
Doing the okay.
exactly, yes. It was just like Will from Will and Grace doing the prayer from Boondock Saints. He nailed it. It was awesome. And it was just like something I learned about him too is he's a big activist for women. Didn't know that. So a lot of women were like going up to the microphone like in tears, like, "Thank you, Sean. You're awesome. You've changed my life." Like, And I would never know that because, like, I enjoy his movies. I enjoy a lot of, like, the shows he does. Like, if he's on, like, a television show for a short time, like, I love him, but I didn't know that about him, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
And another really cool thing was, obviously he was ready to go. He had his bags with him, but he stayed. A sea of people just swarmed him, and he stayed taking photos and autographing and just hanging out with everybody.
I mean, when a sea of people swarms you, how much choice do you have?
Well, I mean, he was right by the door, though.
Okay.
He could have dipped out.
Like, just duck and run.
Yeah, because, like, I guess Rocco was supposed to be on the panel, too. He walked in. Sean was like, get up here, Rock. And he was like, nah, I'm good. I'm not doing this. And he walked out.
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, you know.
Again, as you had described, he spent most of the day at the bar. So,
Yeah.
Probably not.
He probably had a killer
Probably
hangover.
a pretty good call on his part. Not getting up on stage there.
We actually have a text.
Oh.
Someone texted in that 22 Jump Street came in grossing a whopping $60 million over the weekend, which broke records for being the second highest grossing opening weekend for an R-rated comedy, ranking just below Hangover 2.
So I haven't seen the movie yet, but anything that can, would have almost had the possibility to dethrone Hangover 2 is good in my book, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a worthy cause.
Yeah, I wish it actually had.
Me too, because I liked it way more than Hangover and the whole Hangover series. Like, 22 Jump Street is...
Hangover Redux.
Yeah.
Hangover Part 2. Yeah,
But thank you, whoever you are, texter. Sweet. That's a cool little tad bit of information.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we are, once again, going to break. Take in the spiel. Call us 857-366-5444. Text us 857-445-0424. Facebook.com/Static Rift Radio. Twitter @Static Rift Radio.
Instagram @Static Rift Radio.
All the socials. Hit us up.
Everything. We're on them.
I'm Blake J. Harris, the author of Console Wars, and you are listening to the very wonderful Static Rift Radio.
We are back, and it's that time of the day, people. My favorite segment, comics. So if you want to call in and get into the fray, it's 857-366-5444. If you want to text in, it's 857-445-0424. All right, guys. Spider-Man, he's cool. He's great. But sometimes your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man can get a bit too friendly. That's right, folks.
Hi.
With great boners comes great responsibility, especially for Korean Spider-Man.
Oh.
Case in point, there's a sculpture of Spider-Man in a shopping plaza in South Korea. The guy, I guess, who made the sculpture must enjoy erections, because he's got Spider-Man, a beautiful sculpture, I might add, and he has a full erection. Check this out. Check this out, guys.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I think... No, you know what this is? This is a dire and heartfelt warning about the dangers of wearing spandex. That's what this is. Was there no, board of review for this? Was there...
I mean, there had to have been, because...
Who approved this?
Yeah, who approved it? Because he's... No joke, people, he's got maybe, a 10-inch chubby coming out of his spandex. You know?
It's not even, it's blatant.
Yeah.
That's the only word I can use to describe that. It's just blatant.
Yep. It got to the point that I guess people were complaining, so they had to take it down.
I think the only way he could have made this worse is if that was a fountain.
Oh, right? But we will post the photo up on Facebook, so you guys can check that out if you want to.
We just post a link to an article about
we'll
it or
post the
something?
link. We'll post the link.
I don't want that on our Photos by page for ever. You know.
Very true. Very true. It is a raging boner.
Just looking at this makes me why, and he's upside down.
Yeah, he's doing his
It's-
normal Spider-Man-ish pose, so you're getting like full hips out boner present.
That's just
some
that's
dude
bothersome.
some dude in South Korea really enjoys Spider-Man. A little too much, maybe.
Spider-Man really enjoys South Korea.
Yeah, right. That's it.
Attempt to capture the natural physical phenomenons. I don't. I'm really, really, really trying to figure out this guy's thought process.
I
And
couldn't tell ya.
I'm drawing an absolute blank. It's at a children's playground, no less.
He's trying to
He's
Really?
trying to scar some kids.
he's trying to show you that, like I said, with great boners come great responsibility. Those things come out of nowhere. You're
maybe-
responsible for them.
Maybe you have it back. Maybe it's with great power comes great boners. I don't know.
Oh, whoa! You're right.
I'm
Maybe.
going to go back through this episode and I'm going to count all the times we have said boner.
It's been a lot. The boner count is rising.
Look for that on, this week's YouTube upload. Just a little
A
count.
bonerific YouTube upload.
Have we sunk this low? Have we? Can we just take a moment to reflect on where we are at now? All right, moment over. Give me some other news.
All right,
Could we please
so
move on?
Some real news. Still
Yes.
Spider-Man oriented, though, and I promise you there are no boners. In July, we're going to have the 100th anniversary special of Spider-Man #1.
Ooh.
It's going to be a cool little story. In the story, the Kingpin is going to somehow get the Venom symbiote.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
That's
I mean,
dangerous.
they posted a couple photos up of it.
Wow.
He looks very large and
Oh.
venomy
Yeah. And Kingpinish.
and Kingpinish. Yeah, I mean, the artwork looks awesome. I'm not sure who's doing it though. They haven't really said, I guess, but that's the premise of it. It's the Kingpin getting the Venom symbiote and fighting Spider-Man.
Do you know, is it just going to be like a one-off? Is
It's
it
a
gonna be
one-off.
canon?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just
okay.
like a special anniversary issue.
Good.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, that is like, as canon would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want Kingpin being Venom for too long. It's not a good thing. But I mean, it looks awesome. So hopefully it is
Yeah.
awesome. Good premise.
Yeah.
So speaking of the Kingpin,
Who did that art?
they haven't said who's writing or who's drawing. So
Okay.
I'm not sure. They didn't say it in the
pretty
article.
Sweet looking. We're gonna have
Um,
to- yeah.
in Marvel's Netflix Daredevil, they have their Kingpin.
Oh, yeah, that's
Ooh.
right.
Yeah, Kingpin's been cast. It's Vincent D'Onofrio. Sorry if I hacked that name up, Vincent.
I believe it might be D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah,
D'Onofrio. Those Italians.
Wait, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I know. I'm a sad Italian. I'm sorry. But he was on such shows as like, what was it? Law and Order or SVU, something
Law
like
and
that.
Order
One of those.
CI.
Intent.
CS, there we go. He was on Law and Order Criminal Intent.
Yeah.
He was in Men in Black, the first one. I'm sure he was in The Cell, The Breakup. JFK, Ed Wood. So he's a pretty
Yeah, he's been around.
and he's kind of a beefy dude.
Yeah, it'd definitely be interesting. I mean, he won't be as beefy as Michael Clark Duncan.
Right.
Well,
but-
who is?
yeah.
But at least he'll, I don't know, maybe look more the part.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. With Kingpin, for me, it always comes down to the hands. Like, just
Yeah.
those big hands when he just...
Yeah.
That's
Gotta
just-
have
that's
those big bear
Kingpin for
mitts.
me.
Well, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I guess if he shaves the head,
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see it,
yeah, it could be good. Should be good.
hopefully.
So that's what we're getting there. On the show, I've talked a lot about Axis. It's going to be Marvel's big event crossover coming soon because the date's just been announced. It's going to be in October. They also cleared the air on a little something. One of the members of the Access team, who was thought to be the Green Goblin, is actually Hobgoblin. There was a coloring error when they first put out the promotional poster. So it is not Green Goblin, it is Hobgoblin. So it makes the team a little bit more even now.
Now the question is just which Hobgoblin?
That I don't know. That they have not divulged of what Hobgoblin it is. But we have Hobgoblin, Loki, Sabretooth, Doctor Doom, Carnage, and Red Onslaught, which is Red Skull and Onslaught armor.
Oh, wow.
And the team of good guys is Storm, Thor, Iron Man, Luke Cage, Deadpool, Medusa. They also announced that there'll be a couple more people joining the fray. We have, on the good side, Captain America. I don't know how. Maybe by then he'll have the Super Soldier Serum back. Maybe he'll just be in a wheelchair, like, helping them out. I don't know. And for the bad guys, we're going to have Enchantress, which is, she's a very underutilized character, not really used much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Looks like it's going to be a big thing. It's going to be 9 issues. It's going to cross over with Iron Man, Loki, Agent of Asgard, Magneto, which is weird. I don't know why. Captain America, Uncanny Avengers, and Deadpool.
Wow.
What I'm most looking forward to is the interaction between Iron Man and Deadpool.
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty
that'll
sweet.
be good.
Yeah.
That is going to be some awesome stuff, I think. So, come October, it sounds like, I mean, they're throwing out some great events. Original Sin's amazing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Axis looks like it's going to be just as good, maybe better. So, they're tossing out some good stuff. Rick Remender's keeping himself busy because he's also doing a crossover between his 2 Avengers titles. The Avengers and the New Avengers are going to have a nice little crossover where Remender is going to take you 6 months into the future. And each issue going up is going to get you closer to that time. So the first issue is going to take place in April 2015. So every issue that comes out is going to close the gap and explain to you where they are in that time jump.
Huh.
Which kind of sounds cool. So you're going to see stuff like the fallout of Axis 6 months after. And you won't know what's going on, but he's going to piece it all together. So it's a different... I've never experienced anything like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to go about it, definitely.
Usually, you have a time jump. Very rarely in comics. Mostly it's anime has a lot of time jumps. Manga has a lot of time jumps, but never really monthly comics.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a time jump that you basically are, with every issue, you're closing the gap and getting closer. It's going to be called Time Runs Out. And it's going to explain how the Avengers stave off some apocalyptic future.
Wow.
Again.
Well, they haven't done it yet. DC's been really apocalyptic lately with Future's End. So I guess maybe this is their chance to go at it, but they're doing it in a very out-of-box way.
Wasn't DC also doing some like timey-wimey nonsense recently?
Yeah, Future's End.
Okay.
With Batman Beyond coming to the past from the future.
Like Trunks in DBZ.
Yeah, basically like that. So Rick Remender's doing it just as he's doing Axis, and Jim Chung is going to be doing the art. And the promotional art for it that they show, it looks pretty cool. The Avengers lineup looks to be Hawkeye, Thor, Havoc, and the Hulk. And then an older dude with a cane. Is that Captain America?
Might be.
I can't tell. He does have a nice head of hair, and it is blonde or white. So it could be Captain. Maybe they are keeping him old. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm really interested in it because, like I said, out-of-the-box scenario, you don't usually see stuff like that. So I'm really intrigued. I don't even read the Avengers, and I kind of want to just pick it up to read it because it seems really interesting.
Yeah.
So we have another reimagining of a character, and it's not the New 52.
Okay.
Marvel is reimagining Deathlock.
Which one's that?
Yeah.
He's like a cyborg humanoid,
Okay.
kind of like, think of like Deadshot from DC, but a cyborg.
Okay.
He's kind of like a human Terminator in a way.
Gotcha.
I always liked Deathclock a little bit. I always liked the fact, because I think his creation was, in the future, they take inmates and they have killing machines on them.
Yep.
But with Deathlock, the machine grows a conscience, but the human is like a psychopath, so the machine's always fighting against him to be good. I was like, that's a nice little twist.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're reimagining the character. He looks completely different from how he normally would look, if that makes sense. He looks more
the
human.
Established norm for the character, I guess. Yeah.
Before he had like a really disfigured face, like pig nose, like one of those like barely any nose, just grotesque looking, metal, a lot of metal on him. Seems like they kind of laid off a little bit of the metal, and he looks more human. Looks a lot more human.
Okay.
It's interesting. They might be going trying to make him more like the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Deathlock.
That's what I was thinking, because I believe he is African American in descent. This one.
Oh, okay.
So he looks okay. I mean,
I like
it
that
could be.
cover.
It could
The
just be
concentric
another
circles and everything.
Deathlock. Doesn't have to be the same one. Could be a different one.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other inmates they worked on. So, I'm always for if you want to have another character, or have an ethnic quota or anything. If you want to make any different kind of character but still have like a Flash or anything, give them their own version, and that's cool. It could be another one. It could be the same. I don't know, but he looks cool. I'm for it.
I mean, Marvel's been doing really good stuff with their C-list and B-list heroes.
I agree. Yeah, they're definitely bringing a
They're
bunch
kicking
of
it up.
C-listers back.
Yeah, definitely. And Miss Marvel, the new Miss Marvel, really enjoyable, really good read.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't read it.
It's very interesting. It's a lot. It's about a teen, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of it's kind of the angsty stuff. But
And
it's
she's
really fun.
Muslim, right?
Yes, definitely. Yep.
That's
it's,
cool.
and it's written by a Muslim American woman too, I
Oh,
believe.
wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I knew it was a new woman writer.
I don't know her name, but she did a TED Talk recently about it.
It's like G. Willow something.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure on the name, but she's an up-and-coming writer, and a lot of people are enjoying her. Actually, I think the editor-in-chief, Axel Alonso, was in like a podcast or some kind of press conference, and he was really boasting about how a lot of women are really strong in Marvel, but kind of weak in DC.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Marvel's
really
having bringing on a lot more women writers, and really kind of delving into women, making them stronger, where DC's kind of maybe exploiting them a little bit, not really giving them a good rap.
That's really interesting.
Okay.
So, and she's really in the forefront of that.
Word.
Another not good rumor. I'm not a fan of this. I want you guys' take on it. Yet again, another superhero is going to be in Batman vs Superman. So you already got
Wait,
Batman. What? You already got Superman. You already have Wonder Woman popping in. Mm-hmm. You already have Cyborg popping in. Now you're going to have Aquaman. Okay? And the guy they want to cast as Aquaman is Jason Momoa.
Who?
Khal Drago.
He was Khal Drago in Game of Thrones. He was Conan the Barbarian. And he was also in the movie Bullet to the Head as like the big henchman.
Yeah.
He's a big hulking dude, with long black hair.
He was in Baywatch too.
Well, he was in Baywatch. He was. Looks nothing like Aquaman.
Yeah.
Bad choice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Bad choice. Like Aquaman's a chiseled dude, but
Yeah.
not that big. It's just I don't know what they're doing. It's like are they trying to make the biggest pile of crap ever for a movie? Because that's what I'm getting out of it. So they announced that, and they also announced this. They announced all their films up to 2018. Films they want to get out.
Oh,
so
wow.
you got May 2016, Batman vs Superman. That's their set goal for Batman vs Superman. July 2016, Shazam.
Wow.
Okay.
With rumored The Rock being Black Adam.
I could,
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad.
Maybe.
I could see it. I can definitely see it.
Well, I guess. Xmas 2016, Sandman.
Oh.
Ah!
On Christmas. Sounds great, right? A
Oh,
little
that's
gift for you, Dan.
I'm getting coal. I'm getting coal for
May
Christmas.
2017, The Justice League. July, they're going to give Wonder Woman her movie, finally. Her own solo film.
Freaking finally. I hope it doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Christmas 2017, because DC loves giving you gifts. The Flash and Green Lantern team up. I don't know why they couldn't have their own movies.
Yeah, that's a really weird choice.
Shazam gets his own movie,
Yeah.
but Flash and Green Lantern don't.
Yeah.
And then
They
May,
must have some sort of weird storyline.
well,
for
I mean,
that
in
one
the comics,
planned.
they're
like,
they're
yeah,
big,
they're like buddy.
depending on who the Flash is and who the Green Lantern is.
Yeah.
But Hal Jordan and Barry Allen are huge, like really close friends. So especially if they're working on New 52 stuff, because they're like best friends in the New 52.
Word.
And then their final movie that they put out there is Man of Steel 2 in 2018. But I thought Batman vs Superman was
Yeah.
Man of Steel 2.
Yeah.
I don't know now.
But it was. But it's not Man of Steel 2 anymore. It's freaking Justice League Beta.
Right, that's what it is. That's why I guess they're making a Man of Steel 2 later on.
Yeah. So they're just like, that's essentially them just coming out and saying it.
It
like,
should be
listen,
called
this is-
Batman vs Superman, the prequel to Justice League.
It should just be called like Justice League .05.
This is Justice League 0.
Justice League -1. I don't,
So what do you guys feel? Like, how do you feel about that? They're obviously trying to do what Marvel's done with their cinematic universe. Do you think they'll pull it off? What do you think, Zach?
I don't know. I feel like, I mean, Marvel really did a lot of stuff before. They established all their heroes beforehand,
Right.
and then they went into Avengers. DC was just like, well, we're late, so we just gotta hurry up and get there.
yeah.
And also, Marvel had a nice bit of time between each movie. They're pumping out like 2 movies every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I feel it's going to be too much. It's
Yeah,
going to be
it's a saturation.
congested.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
I'll be honest. I like after Man of Steel, I really have very little hope for like a lot of these.
Yeah,
I mean,
sadly.
sure they're different writing and directive teams, but just that DC let that happen, kind of bothers me, I guess. But I'm still very much in love with the DCAU.
Me too. Yeah, like their animated films are unbelievable.
So as long as I have that, they can go ahead and do whatever they want with their big money-making Ponzi schemes. I don't care. Just do it.
And one final
But
thing.
leave the Sandman alone!
Yeah, leave Sandman alone because
Just don't do it.
just Dan can't handle that right now. So another sad. Well, this is a sad thing. The voice of the animated Robin back in the day, Casey Kasem, has passed away.
Oh yeah, and Shaggy.
Yeah, he did Shaggy. He did a ton of voices. He was like one of Top Cat's buddies, like the fat green cat. Just like anything from the he was a Transformer. I think he was Hot Rod. He was one of like the Falcon people. I don't remember what that show was
G-Force.
called. The G-Force. Thank you. He voiced that. Like he voiced everything,
Or,
and like the American Top 40. I think for like tons of years.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he had an amazing voice, iconic, and
Absolutely.
he's gone. It sucks. I was a big fan. Sadly, he's gone. Rest in peace, Casey. We love you. Well, I do at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a lot.
All right, guys, we're going to head out to break. We want to embed this in your mind. If you want to call in, it's 857-366-5444. If you want to text in, it's 857-445-0424. Contact us.
Facebook.com/Static Riff Radio. Twitter @Static Riff Radio. Instagram @Static Riff Radio. All the things.
All of them.
All of the things.
We post all the time. You'll love it.
Alrighty, folks, we are back. This is Static Rift Radio on the Gag Order Network. If you want to call in, that number is 857-366-5444. The text number is 857-445-0424. Hit us up on the Facebooks, hit us up on the Twitters, all that good stuff. Now, last week, something pretty big happened, and I'm sure a lot of you were already been tracking it, being the in-touch people that you are, having your pulse on the world, your finger on the pulse of entertainment. But we're going to go ahead and talk about it anyway, because we know you care about what we think, or we're deluded enough to think that you do. So I'm, of course, talking about E3. We talked about it a little bit last show, but that was Monday, and it was still going on. So I feel as though we need to talk about it again now that it's over. Now that it is in its completion, and we can review it in full.
Agreed.
So, like, it seems like every year they do the big thing, or not they, but news outlets, whatnot, do their thing where it's who won E3, who won E3, this and that. I think it's just really drawing battle lines in a war that's already going on and already has its battle lines drawn. Kind of becomes a bit of an opinion piece, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
I'm just going to talk about how freaking awesome Sony is.
Well, Dan will do that, and I'll talk about the other two systems, because I try to be fair. Because I'm not a Sony guy. I'm more of an Xbox guy, but I like them all, I guess.
Alright, so, first off, the big one that caught my eye. And it has been for a while, but seeing that trailer over E3, No Man's Sky, just the concept of that game, if any of you aren't familiar, it's a procedurally generated science fiction space explorer galaxy created in-engine game.
That sounds cool.
It sounds amazing. Sounds groundbreaking. And they're making a lot of promises, and that worries me. I'm thinking there's a possibility that we might have another Fable on our hands, but I'm not letting the doubts.
You don't want to get fabled.
I'm not letting those doubts seep in, because it just looks too awesome. It's all of the trailers and all of the interviews so far have just generally been about, okay, you can start on a planet anywhere, like down in the ocean, whatever, start, and fly directly into the sky, into space with no loading times in between. Visit whatever planet you want. Each planet is generated in-engine, so each one's going to be different. Each player's going to have a different universe, and these universes are going to, or solar system, I'm not sure about the scale, they're kind of, yeah. And each one's going to connect, and you can show other people these planets that you found. It looks really cool. And they're like civilizations and different creatures. And very, what's the word I'm looking for here? I have no idea. A very grand undertaking, it seems, to build something that can build something that big. And I think that's the right way to go about it. I think instead of trying to build the giant, the vastness of space, you just create a machine that kind of builds it for you. I think that's a good way to go. That's what really excites me about like titles like this, and just kind of like fringe video games. Like, well, not fringe. These guys they were at E3, but just like new ideas in video games. It's just, I have talked myself into a corner. Aside from that, there's some other really cool stuff going on. I think Sony's biggest strength, and I've been touting this since like the PS4 has been announced, is just their willingness to go for the indie titles with this new console, to allow indie developers to have their reign over it. A couple of ones that have kind of caught my eye is game Murasaki Baby, which is this weird kind of like, there's so many like weird examples of this art style that I just can't think of, but it looks like scribbles that like the goth chick back in high school would have made on her notebook. You know the one I'm talking about. Like, everyone knows exactly who I'm talking about. The one that walked around with her Jack Skellington hoodie,
chain pants,
all that noise,
lace gloves.
But it's interactive, like weird. I'm talking myself into corners again.
It sounds pretty sweet, though.
Yeah, essentially, you don't control her, you control the stuff around. You don't control the main character, you control the stuff around the main character. Like in the preview, it has her walking and she's about to go off a cliff, and you like push the scenery backwards so she doesn't jump off it. Or she walks into a room and there's a monster there, and she starts crying, so you freaking drag a balloon down to her.
Okay.
Which is it's kind of weird. It seems interesting, but the art style looks really cool. You got to like move lights around to reveal different stuff. It just looks like a really kind of strange game. Another one caught my eye. I'm just gonna keep doing this. Velocity 2X. It's like kind of Metroidvania sort of thing, but it's just really super fast, which I guess fits the title. And I'm gonna link these the trailers for each of these games on the Facebook, because I'm watching the trailers as we go to kind of refresh myself, and I keep getting lost in them. That's how good these games are, or looking how good these games are looking. John, what are you seeing in E3 here?
Well,
what's your big ones?
Because I'm really not a big Sony fan, I didn't really look into much of it. But you hit all those points, so that was great. Some games that really stood out to me on Microsoft's side. There's a game called what is it? Scalebound. I mentioned it briefly the last time we talked about E3, but it just looks so good. I'm hoping that the trailer for it. It's a game where you can like fight and ride with dragons. So like it looks like an action like adventure game, but with dragons that you can use and fly on. And there's been many games in the past that have promised some quality dragon flying and attacking and cool stuff with dragons, but they fell short. They've fallen flat. But this game looks like it's going to actually deliver. And it's an Xbox exclusive. It looks pretty sweet. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Another game, it's an indie game for Xbox. It's called Mighty Number 9. And it looks like kind of like a Mega Man-ish game. I honestly think the guy who originally created Mega Man is doing it, because he recently left Capcom.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
remember hearing
almost
about that.
sure it's him.
I think so. I think he started out as a Kickstarter.
Yep, it's a
and then it just
Kickstarter
got
funded
bigger
game,
and bigger.
and it's going to be on Microsoft, probably everything eventually, but I think it's coming out for Xbox first. But that game looks pretty sweet. Another cool game from Microsoft is called Sunset Overdrive. It kind of looks like I can't think of the name of the game. You're in the mall fighting zombies. Oh, why can't I think of it? I've played all the games.
Dead
Rising, thank you.
Rising, yeah.
It kind of looks like that, but the premise of the game is in a dystopian world controlled by a corporation called Fizco. They put out this new energy drink, and it mutates people. So you're their employee trying to go around and fix everything and clean up their mess, and you're fighting these mutated energy drinkers. So it looks cool. The premise of it sounds kind of cool. And like I said, it kind of reminds me of Dead Rising. I enjoyed Dead Rising, so maybe it'll be good.
Yeah, I saw the trailers for that. It looks really funny.
Yeah.
I'd definitely play that.
And then some big stuff. I think Nintendo really stepped up this year. I didn't think they were going to put anything out, but they've really, really, really stepped up. They tossed out maybe like 40 games or announced 40 games. I mean, not all of them are quality, but I mean, they're going to have a Mario Maker where you can make your own levels. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
If you're into that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not, but I can admit that it's cool.
And it might be just fun playing other people's levels.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Seeing what people can come up with.
Yeah.
There's
I'm
also
interested to see what the speed players do with it. The
Yeah.
speed runners.
they're also going to have the sequel to Bayonetta. That looks cool. They're going to have
Is that just Nintendo? Like, is that a Wii U exclusive?
I think so.
Ah.
It actually comes bundled with Bayonetta 1, too.
Okay.
So you get them
Oh,
both.
wow.
That's cool. I kind of I don't know. I really liked Bayonetta, but I don't think I'd buy a Wii U for it.
Yeah.
And I really want to play Bayonetta 2. so I'm a little disappointed.
I'm in that like half and half zone right now because there's a
Yeah.
couple of games I really want to play, and there's a couple of games that are coming out that I really want to play. So maybe when it drops, I'll get it. I've gotten every Nintendo system
Yeah,
but this, so I'll probably get it eventually.
the price drops enough.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And a couple more games comes out because like right now, like the Donkey Kong game, like Donkey Kong Jungle Freeze looks awesome. The couple Mario games that came out look great. You know, when they come out with a couple more titles, I'll probably pick one up. But they also announced Mario Party 10. Everyone loves
Yeah.
a Mario Party.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Even if you
casual
know,
gaming.
yeah, if you have friends over, it's the go-to game. They have a game called Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. It's going to be the first single-player game with Toad, the little mushroom dude. So you're looking around, scavenging treasures and stuff while fighting normal Mario villains. Looks
Word.
cool. Another really cool-looking game, I don't know if it'll be good, but it looks cool, is Yoshi's Woolly World. It's a Yoshi game, and it's looks like it's made out of yarn. Like every level looks yarnish or like crocheted or however you want to call it.
Huh.
But it looks really cool. So I don't know if it will be good, but it looks cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're really kicking up the cute factor. this
Yeah,
year.
definitely. They're trying to. I feel like they're trying to give you best of both worlds. They're trying to be cute, but they're trying to appeal to those old school core gamers that are like, I want the Yoshis, I want the Marios, I want like
Yeah.
the Legend of Zeldas, I want the, because they're also putting out a Kirby game where it looks like it's made out of claymation, like a claymation type thing,
Huh.
but it's still a Kirby game. So you're
Yeah.
getting that fun factor of you're playing a Kirby game, but it's cute for the kids.
I can see that. Yeah.
So they're trying
Or
to.
just like, I guess, new ways of representing them visually. Because aside from Clay Fighter, I can't think of a claymation-looking video game.
It looks cool from the
Yeah.
photos.
No, I've seen. Yeah.
They also released announced a new Legend of Zelda game, as well as a Legend of Zelda fighting game.
Yeah.
I don't know about the
Hyrule
fighting
Warriors
game.
or
I don't know how
yeah.
I feel about it. But the new Legend of Zelda looks good. I'd be for it. I'm
Yeah,
always
definitely.
Yeah.
always
Alright.
down to play Legend of Zelda.
What I found interesting about it is that it's like a Skyrim-esque open world type
Oh,
of thing.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So go wherever, do whatever kind of
That's
Zelda.
never really happened before in
Yeah.
a Zelda game.
A lot of fans have wanted it, so I think that's a good decision on their part.
Let's hope they can actually do it, though.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot one of the big things for PS4.
Lay it
Guilty
on me.
Gear XRD Sign is going to get released here in America.
Just for
which-
PlayStation?
Yeah, PS3 and PS4.
Oof.
And if you're not familiar with the Guilty Gear series, it's freaking awesome, and go familiarize yourself.
It's definitely awesome.
It's a hard-rocking 2D fighter. If you like, what's that? The recent one has a lot of the similar gameplay style from the same studio, Arc Systems. Blaze Blue.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Blaze Blue and you haven't played Guilty Gear, go do it. I'm really, really excited about that because I still, to this day, play Guilty Gear X2 on my PS2
It's a sweet
regularly.
game.
Just the controls are tight. The soundtrack is just really over the top, wanky guitars. The characters are very well balanced, but the special moves feel like brutal. It's a lot of fun.
Nice
So
little
that's-
anime feel to it, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge anime influence. You're playing essentially anime characters. Like they all have that style.
Now, I think the coolest thing for me is the fact that Pac-Man is going to be in the new Smash Brothers.
That is pretty sweet.
I mean, granted,
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Pac-Man fan, but just the fact that now you can have the mascot of basically every big video game developer from the 90s in one. You got Pac-Man from Namco. You have Mega Man from Capcom. You have Mario from Nintendo and Sonic from Sega all duking it out. You can finally decide who's the greatest 90s mascot if you really want to. And that's cool in my book.
Where's my Space Invader? Where's Atari?
Yeah, right?
Huh?
They just left them out.
Yeah.
They showed up. They were like, get out of here, Space Invader. You're not wanted. E.T. showed up.
Oh,
Bury him. Get him out of here.
off to Mexico with you.
Yeah, I really
that
think Nintendo stepped up this year, which is good because I don't want them to go down.
Yeah, they really needed to pull something out.
Yeah. And you can tell it's like, I don't know how they're doing it because a lot of, like, you used to have 40 releases or big releases, and most of them, from what I can see, seem to be first
Legit.
party.
Yeah.
So that's like, are they opening up other development studios? Like, there's supposed to be that rumored fortune that Nintendo is just sitting on that supposedly can keep them around for, like, another decade.
Decided to go to the bank and withdraw some money.
Yeah. They have always been kind of, a very, like, conservative company as far as the
definitely.
video game industry goes, so it doesn't surprise me. But to put in a big showing like that at a time like this is definitely a good sign.
And I mean, they also announced like their little action figure-esque like little model figurine.
Yeah, the amiibo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, that's my one big gripe about Nintendo is their freaking their naming schemes.
Yeah, gotta have those double eyes.
It all sounds like the way someone would talk to a very small dog. Who's a little amiibo? I don't know. I kind of feel like Nintendo's talking down to me. I don't like that. Stop it, Nintendo. No, yeah, those figurines look cool. It's the whole like the little infinity things and the Disney thing that they did. I never really got into it, but they look cool.
Yeah, me either. But it looks like for example, like the Spyro ones, Skylanders or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like you can tell they're just for kids. The Infinity ones, they're kind of maybe Disney collectors would like them.
Yeah.
But I feel that this is the first one where these are actually gonna be like adults are gonna be going for these because they look so sweet. Like they look like cool collectible figurines.
Yeah.
So like your kids can play with them, and then you can get one for yourself and put it on a mantle. So if you're a huge Mario fan,
it's mint in box.
Got your little mint in box Mario tossing a fireball. Like, so I think they're gonna really kill it with those.
I could see it. There's definitely a market for it. So,
how about you, Zach? What was the biggest thing that you enjoyed from E3 or really looked out for?
I don't know. I was kind of surprised. Not surprised, but the theme of just co-op that's been going through the whole festival, the whole E3. Just everything. Just play online, co-op, story mode, co-op, and whatnot.
Yeah. Crackdown coming back with the big emphasis on the cooperative. Yeah.
That new Tom Clancy game.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think. The Division. That's it. Where you're just in an open world and you team up or you fight against people, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, I think like a lot of the player versus stuff is kind of nailed down.
Yeah.
Your Call of Duties and all of them's Battlefields. So I think they're kind of realizing those players are the people looking for that experience have a place to go for that. So give the other people something, which is cool because I've always been more towards the single player side, like a story mode and all that. That's been my big thing.
Yeah, definitely. Me too.
So it's nice, and now I can do that online with people.
Yeah, exactly. You still get the social aspect, but you don't get killed by someone yelling at you every
you
5
get
seconds.
ganked by a 13-year-old. 360 no scope. Shut up.
Yeah, co-op's definitely big. Big.
Big. Spider-Man big?
Yeah, Spider-Man in Korea big. It seems that, that's the route they're going is hang out with your friends, and instead of being antisocial at home, have your friends come over and have a good time.
Or be antisocial at home while playing co-op. It's a conundrum. On that, I think it's about time we take another break.
A little break.
The people have had enough.
Enough.
Gotta give them a little time to themselves.
We're winded.
Be cooperative.
I need to sip on some Sonic Nero. Thank you, Nero.
Rejuvenated. As you all know, but I'm going to keep telling you anyway. Studio numbers 857-366-5444. Text lines 857-445-0424. Hit us up on the Facebook, Static Rift Radio, Twitter at Static Rift Radio, Instagram at Static Rift Radio, all the good stuff. Check out our YouTube channel, /Static Rift Radio. We'll be back.
We will be back.
I'm Blake J. Harris, the author of Console Wars, and you are listening to the very wonderful Static Rift Radio.
back. If you want to call in, it's 857-366-5444. If you want to text in, it's 857-445-0424. So the show is winding down almost to a close, so we're just going to give you what we're looking forward to in the coming week.
Yeah.
So, Dan, what are you looking forward to?
I'm not completely sure. It's in the coming week. And we talked about it a little bit last week. But Sailor Moon Crystal.
Yes.
Coming out very soon.
It's very soon.
It just anyone who's not familiar, it's just a redux, like updated animations, some of the classic voice actors and some new voice actors.
Which is sweet.
Yeah. I hadn't really realized how much of a fan I was of the old Sailor Moon show until I heard about this one, and everything just kind of came flooding back. Also, one of the interesting things about it is the way they're debuting it. It's going to be over a site called Nico Nico, I believe. I'd have to look it up. I'll get the exact
I've never
details
heard of
but
that.
It's it's this up and coming like Japanese site that's, I shouldn't even say up and coming. They're solid over there. Like it's
Right.
a really big thing.
Well, maybe up and coming here.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, if this works out, I can see this kind of carrying things over. But it's a combination of like a message board and YouTube.
Ooh.
So your kind of forum style comments come up as the video plays, and you choose where to put them. Kind of like on leaving comments on a SoundCloud file.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's sweet.
So it's another just form of interaction. I guess there's like a whole like well-developed community of both producers and just viewers that's gone on over there. So I think it'll be really interesting to see a show premiere on that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, it's
definitely.
really cool. Like
Yeah.
a live behind-the-scenes commentary kind of thing, almost.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope the developers are on it. I'd imagine that'd be a big drawing for it. But I haven't heard anything specifically along those lines. But that'd definitely be awesome if it is a possibility.
Zach,
Yeah.
what are you looking forward to?
Well, I don't know. As summer's coming up, my weeks usually spent watching TV, and now that's all drying up. But I'm still watching this show on BBC America called Orphan Black,
Okay.
which I really love. It's in its second season. It's kind of a sci-fi thriller about this woman who's a con artist, and she realizes she was part of a clone experiment when she was young, and she's running into all these clones, all played by the same actress, like flawlessly. I forget all the time that they're the same person, and it's really intense, and I'm just obsessed with it every week. I can't help it.
Does it have like a sci-fi feel to it? That's what it seems.
It's I wouldn't say it's got the science fiction elements in the cloning, but it's
Mhm.
very much down to earth.
Okay.
Like there's a company that did it, like started in the 80s, and they're underground because cloning is illegal and things, and so they have like not really hit squads, but kind of untoward men who do untoward things for them. And
Yeah.
there's also a faction of Christian fundamentalists who believe it's an affront to God, so they're after them too, and it's just these people are caught in the middle. It's amazing.
It
Word.
sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Ah.
And yeah,
Definitely.
the lead actress Tatiana Maslany, flawless, and like every character is just very different, but all her. It's great.
Excellent.
is
That
pretty
looks
cool.
like something to look forward to, John.
Well,
You,
I'm looking forward to a few things. One of my favorite shows are coming back this Sunday. Falling Skies. It's like a sci-fi show. Aliens take over Earth, kind of. The first few seasons were like set in the Boston area,
Okay.
so it's
Did
just
not
a
know
really
that.
good show. It's really riveting. It's written well. The acting's done well. I really like it. And last season they left it like a little cliffhanger, so I'm interested to see how it turns out. And I'm also really looking forward to, obviously, Original Sin number 4.
Word.
The third one ended with a huge cliffhanger.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I said, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but a character died, killed by a known hero, which is pretty crazy. So I'm wondering what number 4 is going to be like. And I read an interview with Jason Aaron, and he said the fourth and the 5th issues are going to have bigger cliffhangers than the 3rd, and I don't see how that could be possible.
Yeah, that's quite a statement.
Yeah, so maybe he'll prove me wrong, like he's done it in the past. So I hope he is going to prove me wrong, but that's what I'm really looking forward to, because Original Sin's been unbelievable.
Word. Yeah, I went through and I got the information on that. Sailor Moon Crystal is debuting July 5th, 7 p.m. Japanese time on Nico Nico. So I did have the thing right. That's niconico.jp. I'd imagine it would be.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah. Oh, nicovideo.jp.
Nice.
So that's interesting. I'm thinking, like, because it's, it is a global broadcast since
Right.
it's over the internet, but I believe it's going to be in Japanese, which would be kind of obvious. I
So it's
guess.
not going to be like how Space Dandy was. It's not going to have like a Japanese cast and an American cast just simulcasted together.
Yeah. From everything I've gathered, like, there's a lot of just going through and trying to find stuff out about this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of rumors and hearsay, so I'm kind of trying to dig through it. I haven't done the investigative journalism part of this, if you could even really call it that. But I want to know, so I'm gonna find out.
Yeah,
And
no, definitely.
I'll do my best to keep everyone else updated.
I would like to find out too.
Yeah, so that's interesting, I guess.
Yeah. And obviously next week, guys, I'll have my review of Original Sin 4. Every issue's gotten better, so hopefully 4 will be even better than the last. But I'll let you guys know what I feel about it. Trying not to be too spoilery, because I know people don't like spoilers, really.
Snape kills Dumbledore.
Oh, he does. He does. No.
Bruce Willis is dead.
He is dead. Alright, guys. We are going to bid you adieu. Parting in such sweet sorrow, and we are so sad to say goodbye, but we have to. But, remember, follow us on Facebook, Static Riff Radio. Follow us on Twitter, Static Riff Radio. Follow us on Instagram for those sweet pics,
Sweet pigs.
Static Riff Radio. Follow us on YouTube. If you want to just relive this show or one of the past shows, we post them up. Usually with cool pictures, sometimes it's just our logo. It's a little mystery every time, kind of like a prize in a cereal box. You never
We all
know.
You're minimizing it anyway. I mean, that's what I do.
Yeah,
So,
just
yeah.
listen. Yeah, you don't want to look. Maybe. Sometimes I put
Oh, but
cool stuff in there.
There's always a million tabs. I have a million tabs. If I'm gonna watch something along our lines on YouTube, like I do a lot of the Welcome to Night Vale,
Yeah,
I'm not leaving it on the Welcome to Night Vale tab.
that's true.
It's coming out through my headphones.
It's very true. Yeah.
Yeah, we try to keep it dynamic anyway.
So catch us on YouTube if you want to just relive this, another show, like I said. Plus, just like us. Like us on YouTube. Help us out. 'Cause if you like us on subscribe,
Like videos, comment on them, subscribe to our channel.
Yeah,
Please. It'll
just-
help us out a lot.
even if
whole lot.
you hate us,
We
if
will.
you,
Yeah.
we'll answer you back. Like if you're like, John, I hate your comic book
Well,
opinions.
think about it. If we get bigger, then inevitably there's going to be more people that hate us.
Yeah.
So
And
you can join up with them. Get us big so more people hate us.
if you hate us, let us know. If you love us, let us know. All right, guys,
We're out.
we're out of here.